Start over.
Oh, looks like we're running it from the top.
I pressed the wrong button. If you didn't hear that, supernatural enthusiast, my name is Nick. Alongside me is my partner in paranormal exploration,
Brandon. That's right, folks. Today we're going to be discussing haunted hotels and the mysteries within. Firstly, we were absolutely amazed by the fantastic stories everyone shared during our last session. To those who responded to this week's post, your paranormal encounter could be featured later on in the show, so make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out. And don't forget to join our Facebook group, Paranormal Haunted Creepy Places and Ghost Stories Welcome Home, and share your story for the next week's show. Don't miss out.
Of course, as always, if you're enjoying the show, we'd be incredibly grateful if you shared it with your friends and family. Sharing our content is the most effective way to expand our community, and we truly value each and every one of you for the support.
Okay, so today we're delving into the supernatural lore surrounding 3 allegedly haunted hotels. Our journey begins with the haunted Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York, followed by the world-famous Clown Motel. You all right there?
Yep.
In Tonopah, Nevada, and concludes with the iconic Hotel de Coronado in San Diego, California. But that's not all, everybody. We have an exciting surprise in store as Andrea and Mark from Spectral Paranormal will be joining us via Zoom to share their first-hand supernatural encounters today.
I'm just going to send them a quick message real quick.
I'm excited for this.
I know.
I'm really excited for this interview.
Why is it doing this? There we go.
There we go.
Second.
All right. Well, they've been notified. We're just waiting on them to join our call here.
Let's see. Might have some problems here because it's been doing that to us a lot.
What's going on?
Just Zoom being Zoom. What else can we talk about in the meantime?
Well, we do have some. Oh man, I can't actually. It's a spoiler. I'm just eager to talk about the community submissions that we have from this week because we have some really wild experiences that were shared with us, from something just disappearing after it was seen, double take, disappear, and then there was another one with an apparition of what they think is a young boy. Someone saw the Grim Reaper, a Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper. I don't know if there's many or one. Is it a single thing? I don't know. I mean, it depends on the lore, I guess you're looking into for that one. But
wait a minute.
What do we got here?
We got it.
Hey, there we go. All right.
So I'm going to move this up here. I'm going to switch this off. Hey, can you hear us?
We can't hear them.
Cannot hear you right now. Spectral is connecting to audio and can't hear you yet. I got nothing.
We're all good on our end.
Yeah, we're good on our end.
Just bear with us, folks. Apologize for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we can't hear you. I don't know why it was working perfect earlier, but that's how this goes. Let me try to... unmute my auto. Are you guys connected to sound? Let me try to message him real quick.
Can you hear us? Not if you can hear us. Uh-oh. That was a no nod.
I don't know. Here, we might have to just cut back out real quick and then try to re-invite you. Make sure the microphone is on your end. Second. I don't know why nothing can ever go as intended.
We did do a lot of troubleshooting to
we
make sure
did.
this wouldn't happen, and of course it happens still.
All right, we're going to try one more time. All new meeting.
That's weird because we couldn't hear them and they couldn't hear us.
Yeah. Invite link. Move this here. Go back to here. Sorry about this, everyone. Is connecting to audio and can't hear you. Why is that? We're on a virtual kind. Everything should be perfect right now. I don't understand. I have no idea. It still says
Well, good thing I studied 15 years of reading lips in college. Because that skill is coming in clutch right now. I know exactly what he's saying.
still says connecting to audio but can't hear. Oh.
Chat just said something. Can chat hear us? Any feedback from chat?
Let's see. Technology.
It's either the best or the worst, yes.
Says you're connecting to audio. Bruh. We're going to try sending it to someone else. Facebook. Okay. Remove. No, I'm not reporting them.
Wow.
Copy invite link.
Okay.
All right, let's try this. Sorry if this is anyone's first time chiming in here with us, but this is why I hate technology.
Yeah. We really spent a good amount of time before we started streaming today, trying to make sure this wouldn't happen, ironing out all the wrinkles, and there was a wrinkle we missed apparently.
I wonder what is the deal? Because
I mean, it has our audio coming through.
yeah. We tested the speakers. We tested the microphone. I don't know. But as we wait on that, why is it doing this?
Did they get the invite?
Yeah, right.
They got it.
They read it.
Okay.
So now it's just a waiting game. You try to account for a lot of things, but all right. Mark's saying something right now.
Yeah. We can only do the best we can do. Yeah, technical difficulties. Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah. I'm not upset in the least. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that we tried so hard to make sure this wouldn't happen and it still happened, but
I know.
but it's okay. You know, that's part of the process.
Oh wait.
What do we got here? Hello.
Oh, you can hear us.
Hey!
Yeah, for some reason, like on the Android, it wasn't coming in, but she has an Apple, so it went right through that.
What?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Andy.
And I am Mark, and we are Spectral Paranormal. Okay, well, what separates us from a majority of the paranormal groups out there and teams that are on YouTube is that we are both actual clairsentients, which is above a spirit sensitive. We feel emotions of the spirits. Spirits are able to convey to us things, and we, in like a telepathic kind of way, we kind of feel it. We also feel the energies, like when we go into a haunted location, and that we both give off a lot of energy. So the spirits attach to us, and they suck all the energy out of us. We get dizzy to where we feel like we're going to pass out. And they also consider us like magnets, where all the spirits come to us, and we get crazy evidence. As you guys have seen in our videos, we get crazy evidence all the time. We'll do like a 5-hour investigation. We usually get about after editing, we get about like 45 minutes of paranormal activity. And we just try to like turn it down, because we know that people's attention spans doesn't really go past an hour usually. So we try to maintain that time frame for all of our videos, about 45 minutes.
So I only have this. I only have this set up to where if we talk, we have to mute my microphone because we don't have headphones. So whenever we talk, and then we'll mute, and then you guys can talk. But we just have. We wrote down some questions here. Say the first one. Can you share with us one of the most compelling experiences you've had while investigating like a haunted hotel?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, go first.
Go. All right, I'll do it. All right, so the hotel. She loves being on the spot. The hotel. All right, so we did the Cliff Park Inn, for example. That's on our YouTube. We heard a lot of stories about that place. There is, if I remember correctly, it was room 5. Am I wrong?
No, it was room 10.
Room 10. Okay. Yeah, room 10. And the spirit's name was, we do so many, it's kind of hard to keep track of it.
That was Sally.
Yes, Sally. So when we did an investigation, that place is abandoned now, and the state's taking it over to do renovations. There was a lot of black mold and a lot of mold through the thing, so it wasn't really the healthiest atmosphere for us to be in. But when we went in there, we definitely felt a lot of energy. Besides the energy, we had to watch out for the animal desecration all over the place. It was just not the best condition to be in. But we ended up actually making contact with her, and she came right through. And she had the voice, as you can see in the video that's on our YouTube, of a smoker. And then she said she died in that room. And there was a lot of other spirits that we conversed with there.
Mhm.
What was your fondest memory of that place, besides all the bad things I just named?
As far as a hotel, I don't think it was that one, but we didn't do an investigation at the Hawthorne Hotel.
No, but that was
But we
yeah, we
had
had
the-
experiences
yeah.
there,
Hmm.
and at Gettysburg.
Yeah.
You want to talk about those?
I think the Hawthorne Hotel was probably the most that we've had because that was so we stayed in the most haunted room at the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem. And in the middle of the night, we were both sleeping, and it was probably, what was it, like 3 a.m. maybe?
Oh yeah.
Around 3 a.m.
Yeah, we took sleeping pills because like we were so like freaked out because there was like rumors in the room that little kids would grab your feet and like pull you down on the bed and rip your covers off, and we were both feeling a lot of energy in that room. And I do remember we took the sleeping pills and we were out, and then tell what happened.
And then in the middle of the night, it sounded like something was banging on the closet door really loud, woke us both up.
Yeah, like something took its fists and pounded as hard as you possibly could. And it was the closet door that was right by the bed. So there was no explanation for it. Something wanted our attention, and it definitely got it because we were like terrified. And we ended up sleeping with the lights on that night. And this is crazy because all the stuff, all the evidence we get and the things we experience, it's like you would never think that we would be like that. But in that situation, we were.
Hmm.
So after that pounding woke you up, did you guys actually like go check it out and see what was in there?
It was in the room that it happened, but
Mhm.
we did call the front desk and see if anybody else had any complaints or if anybody else heard it because the hotel was completely booked and
Mhm.
nobody else even heard it.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. And then in the Gettysburg one, we stayed at the Cashtown Inn, and that is where we captured a full-bodied apparition looking at us through the window. We did put that originally on our Facebook page. You'd have to scroll all the way down, but it's on there. That one was interesting. We weren't really spectral paranormal at that point. We were just kind of like playing with the idea of becoming a paranormal team, so we were just fooling around a little bit. We did have experiences there. On the one EVP I had, you can literally, I could probably play it actually. I don't know if you guys are going to hear it through the phone, but
Yeah, go ahead.
you hear the boots of a soldier walking, and then you hear him go, hello, like in a weird kind of voice like that. And then you hear me right afterwards going, hello. And like, I never heard that live until we got home. And then when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, we captured an amazing EVP here. So that was this one. Let me see if you guys are going to be able to hear this. That was June, right? June 23. Let me see. Hello. So that very first thing that you hear, the footsteps and him, that's the spirit. So that was like the spirit of a soldier. And then that night, we actually had a situation, and I think that was the same thing. We were both lying in bed and in our bathroom, and it was late. We didn't take any sleeping pills that night, but we were kind of tired from all the gallivanting that we were doing, and something really loud came from the bathroom. And believe it or not, once again, we did not check it out because we were kind of freaked out by it, and it was extremely loud. And then in the morning we looked just to see, you know, could something have fell or whatever, and there was nothing in there. So there was nothing that would have explained it. But that was another situation we had there. Then in the other room, the next night, or no, the first night, that was the second night that happened. The first night we were at the same hotel, the Hawthorne Hotel, but they had us like in this back lot, and there was a little building back there that you stayed in that was kind of like a cottage where some of the actors stayed when they were filming movies there. And what happened there? All the items that we bought, we left on the
Yeah,
mantle.
you're getting mixed up. They weren't the
Yeah, I'm getting
actors
mixed
there.
up.
Yeah. So that was up in Salem,
Oh yeah,
the orchard.
yeah,
Was her name Bridget?
yeah.
Bridget's Orchard. They built it's like an addition to the hotel. It's a little house that has rooms for the hotel in it. And we bought a couple souvenirs at a gift shop and put them up on the mantle. And when we came back, all of the items had been dumped out of the bag onto the floor, but the bag was still up on the mantle intact where we had left it.
And then what was the crazy thing that happened? See if you
The
remember.
hair dryer?
Yes, yes. Tell me about the hair dryer.
Then they had one of those hair dryers that attaches to the wall in the hotel. And that came, we didn't touch it or anything. That came flying off the wall.
And it just turned on. That was kind of
Mhm.
freaky.
Whoa.
That's yeah. These are some crazy experiences you guys are sharing with us. I haven't experienced anything that crazy myself. Like I mean, I've gone on some explorations, and it was in my younger days, more so like alien hunts, UFO hunts, nothing with the spirits or anything like that. But I never found anything. These like that the hair dryer flying off, and did it turn on and then fly off, or did it fly off and then turn on?
No, it flew off first.
It flew off and then
Yeah.
turned on. Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if something hit the button to turn it on, but
But it was
something definitely made it come off the wall.
yeah, it was one of those things that was actually latched. Like there's no way it would have came off. I mean, we tried to debunk that and we were like, did we do something? But it had like the two latches where it locks, so something literally just grabbed it right off.
So it has to be intentionally unlatched. There's no
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's no accidental falling or anything like that, which is just more
Right,
evidence that there's some sort of entity. There are some entities that are absolutely messing with these things, interacting with our plane. That's this is fascinating. I really like this. I have a question for you guys about how you mentally and emotionally prepare yourself for these investigations, since you did say in the beginning how these can be quite draining for you guys.
Mhm.
How do you go about preparing for them?
Um, a lot of times, like I'll look up I do a lot of research on the history of the places that we go, just to give us some kind of an idea of what could possibly be there so we could prepare for it that way. But a lot of times we come across stuff that you really can't prepare for.
I think our biggest thing is we like to go into the investigation first. We'll do like a little tour with the owners or whatever. Get a little bit of a backstory. We don't like to know too much because we like to kind of figure all that stuff out ourselves. But we'll do a walk around, and then there's times like with the what we did last night, for example. I mean, that place was insane. UK has a show called My Haunted Hotel, and they just brought that over here to the States, and they're going to be doing it at the Samuel Miller Mansion now, and it's going to be called My Haunted Manor USA. Now, they're not starting until a couple more weeks, so we were the first team to do this before they're going to do their thing, and probably the last. And the evidence that we got there was so insane. That video will be out in a couple weeks, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But when we walked around that whole mansion, like we every room in that mansion, there was like 5 floors, right? There's a basement, the one floor, the second, third, and
Yeah.
then the attic and all that.
It's like 4.
Yeah, like 4 or 5. And then every single room had energy. And then we got into this one area specifically that all these little kids' spirits have been like heard giggling and seen running and things like that. There was psychic mediums that were there that actually drew illustrations of what these spirits look like from their perceptions of what they were picking up. And that actually made it even creepier. So after we walked around, we looked at the pictures. She gave us the key. So there was nobody, there was just us. We went out and we ate, we came back, we got all of our equipment. And I make a comment, and it's really funny because I said, I really feel like this is the calm before the storm. And it was. I mean, it was so intense, like things that were happening to us there. As it got later and later, when we were in the kids' room, for example, there was There was a point where we wanted to be a little bit creative and try to get as much as we could, but we never expected to happen what happened. So all the rooms were co-joined by doors and stuff like that, and you can go through all these different rooms. We picked 4 rooms that was right by the one kid's bedroom, and we put a REM pod in each room. So there was 3 REM pods in 3 different rooms. We had the REM pod. No, actually, it was the big one too. Or no, that was it,
The
right?
big one
Yeah,
was in
that
the
one
middle,
too.
and the 2 small ones on the side rooms.
All right. So yeah, so we had the 3 REM pods set up. Then we had motion balls set up, and then it was this little doll that if you touched it, it would actually play kid music and say these kid things. It was creepy. And then all of a sudden we're talking to the spirits, and I think this is probably going to be the very first time anybody's ever seen something like this happen, and we got it on video, which is amazing. Every single thing went off at the same exact time, and we were like in shock. We didn't even know what to do. We've never had that happen. Like honestly, like every REM pod was going off exactly on cue. It's like the 5 kids got together and said, all right, guys, everybody get in place, go. And then they all touched things. And that's what it was like. The balls were going, the REM pods were going off, the thing was singing, hey, play with me. And then it started doing this little kid song. And then the REM pod with the lights was going on. It was crazy. That was intense.
I'm just shocked that that wasn't the experience you guys led with. That's crazy.
I think
Five
we're a
different
little bit
rooms.
more prepared for that one.
Yeah, you would think it's something like anybody that would experience that would literally run, not us. Like, and it's funny because we're sitting here terrified in hotel rooms because we hear a noise, but yet we have spirits throwing things and touching things and scratching us and stuff, and we're good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be me. I'm not good with all that. Um, so you mentioned the equipment you used in those rooms. What were they called again?
All right, so the equipment that we use, we don't do a lot of the. I mean, we do a lot of the stuff, but we don't do a lot of the stuff that other teams do. Like, we use spirit boxes for communications. We use ITC where we have there's 2 vocalizations you can use. You can use a robotic voice, and it's very hard for the spirits to understand them when they come through that. And then there's a thing called the whisper. And you'll notice in our last several videos, we've been using that a lot more. And it sounds really creepy. But the thing is with spirits, the way it works, so your viewers and everybody can understand, is everything is based off vocalization. All right. So I'll give you an example. So a spirit in our videos you've seen, Nick, I know you've watched our videos where we get the disembodied voices. Now those come out of the air. They're not in a machine. They're literally in the air. So what happens is the devices we use, it picks up those disembodied voices and it creates a vocalization. Now you can't use like a plain voice like I'm talking right now. For some reason, the spirit's voice doesn't, I mean, like emulate through
You
it.
can. It has it, but it takes a lot more energy.
It's yeah, you'd have to have a crazy strong spirit. Other than that, they need a distortion. So we either use the robotic voice or we'll use what is called the whisper, and it sounds like almost like a demon. It's weird. We use those. We use motion balls because motion balls, and believe me when I tell you, we try to always debunk everything. Um, with the motion balls, at first we were kind of weary about using those, but then like when we tested them out, we'd put them on tables and we'd jump up and down and stuff like that. They wouldn't go off, and like nothing would set them off unless you actually physically touch them or move them. So when a spirit is near them, a spirit doesn't have to literally touch it. A spirit can do something with its form of energy, which just does something with the electronics, and it creates the light to flicker and goes off. And then yes, sometimes they do touch it as well. We do those. We use REM pods. REM pods, for people that don't know what that is, they're emitters that pick up EMF frequency, warmth, touch. You got to get real close to the antenna. This is the antenna. You would have to get about here in order, and you don't even have to touch it. But if you get that close, it has a really loud sound. Spirits are very rare to get them to set off. They don't like to do that. And sometimes it costs a little bit more energy than they can disperse. But it's amazing when they do, because then like you know it's a validation. And we do that. We'll walk right back over to the REM pods and we'll get close and just make sure nothing else freaky happened with it and that was legitimately touched or something. Other than that, we use our intuitions, we use our feelings and stuff like that. We're able to connect and feel them, and they could touch us, scratch us. Where we pick up the disembodied voices. what other tools do we use? Isn't that about it?
Oh, the K2 meters we have.
Oh yeah, we do the K2s for EMF readings and stuff like that. We have temperature gauges that change temperature. Um, but that's about it. I mean, we kind of keep it simple. Now we know that there's a lot of teams out there that do this thing called the Estes method, and I'm not a big fan of it. And I'm not saying that people fake when they use it, but like you're talking about a person who has headphones on, so they're listening to a spirit box, right? The other person is talking. Can you hear us now? Yep.
Yeah, that was weird. You just started to talk about some of that tech, and then our tech goes weird.
Oh, so nobody heard me talk about the Estes method. All right, so let me just I'll get to the point with that. We're not telling other paranormal teams to stop doing it. But you have to realize as a viewer, all right? So if you were watching these techniques, I'm sure you've seen these too, Nick, where you have one person that has a headset on and they're listening to a spirit box. Now, the audience that's watching the video can't hear this, right? So the guy's sitting in the chair, and then you have somebody supposedly talking to the spirit saying, okay, well, he can't hear me because he has the headset on. Um, can you tell me what your name? My name is Debbie. And like the person will just recite it. To me, it just like the person can't hear the spirit speak. So anybody can honestly, truly fake that. Am I saying they do that? No. But that's not a method that her and I would do, because like we're completely accurate with everything we do. We always try to be honest with our viewers. We always want them to see everything that we're doing, and we want them to witness true 100% undeniable, undoubtable paranormal.
So it's interesting that you bring that up, because my next question for you guys was going to be about any skeptics you guys potentially have to combat or face or have conversations with, and you just laid out that using the Estes method is something you guys won't do, because that lends to your believability, to your credibility, because that is easily faked. Not saying that all people doing it are faking it, as you said, but it's something that makes it easier for somebody to fake things, and you guys want to be credible. Yes. So do you face a lot of skeptics?
We've had
I think, and you know too, if you were out looking for aliens, you said, even if you go and you find it and you get it on video, when you're dealing with stuff like that, just like when you're dealing with spirits, you're gonna have people who don't believe you no matter what evidence you get.
Yeah, like for example, if you guys got like a UFO that landed in your backyard, right? And I'm going to say you just had this on video, Nick, and you actually have an alien coming out of the ship, right? Coming to you, and you actually had that on your phone. Everybody out there would think that you either did CG or you did some kind of like Hollywood magic stuff. The saddest part is, and like we've mentioned this before, the holy grail of paranormal is to capture a live apparition on video. Nobody's ever done it. Right? So imagine if somebody does, the very first thing that's going to happen is everybody's going to scream CG. That's fake. You didn't get it. That's not real. You guys use some kind of effect, blah, 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 blah. And that's the thing. It's like with today's technology, it's almost impossible to even bring concrete evidence out. People are going to question it.
Yeah, because that was tough. My first video I even put on YouTube is of this poltergeist activity. It's the first time I ever went ghost hunting. We were in an amusement park, and it was closed for the season. And the second we walked in, the door shut. So then I tried to debunk that. I walked up to the door. I said, close the door again. The door closes. This is all on camera. So we left the camera rolling for 5 minutes because it was outside, like the door led to outside. So I was like, well, let's just see maybe if the wind will shut it when we come back. We came back. The door was still open. I walk over to it. I say, can you close the door? The door shuts. And then I question it. I said, I don't think you're really doing this. The door slams shut. So, I mean, that's on there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's my concrete piece of evidence. But
Yeah, and it's also getting increasingly difficult for people to, because what I'm trying to say is AI nowadays. Like with AI rapidly, people are going to always, from that point on, I mean, from now on, people are always going to say, I mean, that's easily faked with AI because it's easily accessible to everybody. It's like somebody who just has a basic knowledge on how to use a keyboard and type in a sentence can make AI make things for them. So it doesn't help us in this field at all. But you know, that's I think it's very important to remain honest with everybody. You know, so that there's no chance of you getting caught up in a lie if you didn't lie.
Yeah.
Right.
See, that's another thing too. Like Nick and we're very against anybody sharing fake evidence and fake videos and these fake teams. The sad part is there's so many of them on YouTube. Like, you know, you have like the legit teams like us, Ouija Brothers, Amy's Crypt, and then you have like a massive handful. I'm not going to name any names, but they're like the bigger channels that have unbelievable amounts of subscribers, and they're all the fakers. So everybody that watches their videos, they think that every real, true paranormal thing is skinwalkers and demons, like all the time. That's not reality. The odds of finding or even encountering a demon in the paranormal is like a needle in a haystack. It really is. Like it's very slim. You can meet dark spirits. You can meet spirits that have malevolency, but they're not demons. You know what I mean? And then you got these teams that are putting out a video every week, and it's like, oh, we encountered a demon, or we just survived this paranormal thing. We almost died. And then you watch the video, and not once do they look like they almost died. Like it's just it's misleading, it's false advertising, and it's really hurting our field.
Here's another question. Have you noticed any patterns or similarities among any of the haunted hotels you've been at?
Yeah. When you said it, there's always like a predominant spirit.
There's usually a predominant spirit, and I feel like a lot of times we'll go from one investigation to the next, and there's almost like something that temporarily will follow us. It doesn't stay with us, but it follows us, and I feel like a lot of the names repeat from one investigation to the next.
Yeah. And whenever we're staying at like hotels and stuff like that, depending on how far our drives are, like we're planning on going to Gettysburg again very soon, and we're going to be staying at 2 other haunted hotels that we have not stayed at yet. But that's the thing. I mean, we love the idea and the adventure of not only doing an investigation, we're coming back and we're sleeping in it. So, you know, with those places, they're always intriguing because we're not investigating that actual hotel at that moment. You know, we're just sleeping there, but we will always try to get the most haunted room, just to have experiences, I guess. You know what I mean? On top of everything else that we do. So it doesn't make sense, but at some point I told her, you know, I would like to do investigations and actually have time where we just do other things and no investigation. You know what I mean? But we're always swallowed by it. Like we're always very intrigued by all the paranormal stuff. So we try to do as much as we can. But yeah, I do believe that there's predominant spirits at hotels, and they kind of like rile the other ones up and kind of like control the situation there.
So I don't use Zoom a lot, but apparently there's a time limit, and we have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left before, unless I want to upgrade to Pro. And I don't know how to do that right now in live. So, do you want to ask another question real quick?
Yeah, I was actually curious as to if you guys have. I know you said it's hard to capture, and it hasn't been done yet. An actual apparition or an entity on camera, but have you seen an actual physical entity of anything yourself in person?
Many, yes, many. Go ahead. You could tell about your couple of your stories.
Well, the most recent one is when we did the Ritz Hotel before we had any of the cameras rolling. There's said to be a little girl in the theater, and when I looked up before we started the cameras, she was actually walking through the seats in the theater.
Yeah. Me, I saw since I was 10 years old, I've been seeing apparitions. I actually have a memory of this. I mean, like I'm 51 years old and I can actually remember this like it was yesterday. And it's scary because I didn't remember this memory until years ago. And I was like, oh my God. But when I was a little kid, I used to thought that I had this imaginary friend, and it was an old lady in a rocking chair that would show up on my wall. And I would lay at the end of my bed and I would talk to her, and she would ask me how my day was. And I remember like this old man would come out of nowhere and he would just be on the wall with her, and he'd put his hand on her shoulder and he would never say a word. It was always her talking. And then he would lift his hand and he would walk and he would go backwards into the wall and he would just dissolve and she would still be there. I actually had that memory. And that was like one of the very first apparitions that I saw. Now, could this have been because of my Native American heritage or whatever? I don't know. I mean, I've always had abilities that since I can remember. After that, I did see my father's full apparition after he got killed. A week after he got killed in a car accident, I saw
I'm sorry to hear
his
that.
yeah, I saw his full body apparition saying goodbye to me. From there, I saw half of a girl. Her legs were missing, but I saw her upper torso and her arms and her head at a friend's house. And then after that, I've just seen numerous different apparitions. The best way to explain what they look like when you see a real ghost in front of you is they look like a projection. I think you can attest to that. It looks like they're like blue. They look like gaseous, vaporish, but you can distinct things. Like you can see like the nose, the eyes. You can actually see them pretty much in pretty good definition. It depends on the energy of the spirit too, because like with the little girl that I saw, apparently she didn't want to make her legs manifest, so I just saw her upper torso. Um, but yeah, it's crazy when you see things like that because it's like your mind doesn't want to believe what you're seeing, but then like your eyes are there and you're just in that moment, like, oh my God, I just saw a ghost.
Follow up. Follow up question. You said that they have like this blue gaseous, um, like color to them. Are there
Mhm.
different colors associated with like their intent? Do you think? Have you noticed any different colors?
I think because I've never seen the blue.
You didn't see the bluish
Mm-mm.
colors? Yeah, majority of them I see are blue. I did see a couple white ones though, like just like that translucent, misty kind of look.
Hmm.
Is that what the girl looked like for you?
She was more white. I have seen where it looks like a person, but not quite as clear. Like all
Oh
the
yeah.
yeah.
That's another thing, real quick too. I have seen a full bodied apparition, and I swear to God, it would look just like you two look towards each other right now. It looked like a real human being, and it was across the street. The guy was walking. It was at my mother's wedding when she was getting remarried, and I saw a bald guy. And he had a green suit. He looked like a normal guy, and right when he walked towards the telephone pole, he never walked past it. And I'm thinking to myself, is this guy hiding? Is he playing games? And I ran across the street. Nobody was there.
I hate to break it to you, that was me. No, I have experienced that myself as well. When I
That's
see
crazy.
somebody, and once the line of sight breaks just for a split second, then they're
Yeah.
gone. And it's not like there's a crowd for them to blend behind or disappear into. It's just there was somebody there. I know it. I saw them, and then they're gone. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
that's some of the wild experiences that I think somebody might not understand it could be a spirit or a ghost because they look like a real person. They're solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
One last question because we got 3 minutes.
could you provide like a sneak peek into your upcoming paranormal video, or like maybe share like another interesting encounter from it?
Okay, so the Samuel Mansion, your phone is, of course, it's at low
Just have a
battery.
low battery.
Okay. Is it going to still be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Um, I mean, we had so many different things happen at the mansion last night. It's kind of hard because we still have to go through all the evidence yet. We're just going from like what we know. Um, there was one section where, like the doll, for example, we'll talk about that one. Now, besides all the items going off all at the same time, there was this doll that was on the table, and we didn't bring it. It was just there, And all of a sudden it started singing and going, "Do you want to play with me?" And
And
like it was,
we
it,
were there for hours
yeah,
before that happened.
and yeah, it was creepy as hell, and it was going on command. Like we are like, "Can you do it again?" And then they would.
Why does it do it every time you start talking about something like that? Like my stuff turns off, and I have to like physically.
Reset it.
All right.
The doll came through and
The
turned
doll,
off your
Doll's
speaker.
mad you're talking about it right now.
Yeah, that doll doesn't like that you're exposing her.
All right, come on. We got 2 minutes left here. Okay.
All right, you guys can hear me? Okay. So yeah, the spirits, the children's spirits were making go off on command, and we kept saying, "Can you do it again?" And they would do it. And we got that on video and that. And then afterwards, we tried to debunk it. We were like, "Is there like a motion, maybe a sensor or something?" We walked in front of it. We did everything we could. It would not go back off.
Yeah.
And that was scary. That was a
And we
scary
had the
event.
footsteps in the attic too that I'm hoping the cameras picked up.
Yeah. So we did the alone challenge. Andy's upstairs. I'm downstairs because she has more guts than I do. And well, that's a fact. All the viewers know that. I even get busted at work about that. Believe me. But yeah, she's upstairs and she said she heard like literally footsteps right above her. So we are hoping that the new cameras we got pick it up.
Awesome. Yeah, very very excited to check out that video. Yeah, you have anything else to add, Nick?
I don't think so.
No? All right. Well, I want to thank you both very much, Mark and Andy. It was
Yeah.
for coming, being our first interview of our show. Actually, we really appreciate you guys stopping by and taking the time out of your day to sit here and answer some questions for us.
Yeah,
Thank you for
maybe
having us.
maybe we can get back all together like around the Halloween time, and we'll actually show snippets of videos and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that idea.
And I'm gonna have to buy a new speaker now because I don't trust this one anymore.
He's like, "Mark's coming on, get a new one."
Yeah, thank you so much for everything you do for the paranormal community and for everything you do with our Facebook group as well. You guys are awesome.
You
Yes.
guys are awesome too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk
Take
to you
care,
guys
guys.
soon.
We'll
Have a
see
good
ya.
night. Well, although we had some, hiccups along the way and had to troubleshoot some things, that was a really good interview. I liked that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that video they're working on now.
I know. I just gotta figure out how to.
Get a drag to the side.
Oh yeah. There we
Okay.
go.
If you
No?
do the corner, it does a quarter of the screen.
Yeah, but it's like trying to pick up on the other. There we go. Okay. So now,
That was a good interview. I hope that all of you guys, whoever's watching, all of you folks, and whoever watches in the future, if you check out our live stream after we're live, I hope that you enjoy that interview.
definitely check them out on Facebook and
Absolutely.
YouTube. Spectral Paranormal.
Spectral Paranormal. Check them out. I've never met them in person. I mean, maybe you have, Nick, but
I've met them in person now.
you haven't. But they're part of our group, and they do work that is greatly appreciated for our Facebook group. And like we always say in all of our episodes so far, that our group, everybody in our group is what makes our group so great to us. And we hope more people come to join us. So with that being said, we can dive into our topics for the night. We have what was it? Three different instances. We're going to start off with the haunted Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York. It has garnered a reputation for its paranormal activity. We got a couple of stories based on some personal accounts, and I think some anecdotal firsthand experience from one of the owners I found in an article that I wanted to talk about. So we have the ghostly apparition in room 17. Guests staying in room 17 of the Shanley Hotel have reported encountering a ghostly apparition believed to be a former resident named Beatrice. Witnesses describe waking up in the middle of the night to find a woman dressed in vintage clothing standing at the foot of their bed. tickling their feet. Just kidding. Some claim to have felt a cold breeze and heard soft whispers emanating from the apparition before she vanishes into thin air, which is interesting because I wonder what they're seeing with that. You know, like we were just discussing with Mark and Andy that we've seen, I've seen, he's seen some apparitions that are what seem to be a real flesh and blood person. They don't look spiritual. They don't look ethereal. They don't look ghosty. Stay ghosty, everybody.
That's just good. I've never seen a full body. I've seen a translucent being before.
Yep.
And I've seen a few of those, but I've never seen like a full human, like non-see-through, like non-transparent. Like
no,
an
my old
actual
lady the other
flesh and
day
blood.
actually said she was at work the other day, and she saw somebody sitting in. She thought she could have sworn she saw somebody sitting in the passenger seat of a car, and as she walks up to the car, there's nobody sitting in the passenger seat in the car. Like the closer she got, it just disappeared right before her eyes. I'm
What?
like, that's crazy. Like, I mean, it's happened to me. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I've seen things like that, but yeah, the whispers emanating from the apparition before she vanishes into thin air. Not only are they seeing something, but they're hearing something. Like it's making its presence known. What else do we got here about the Napanock Hotel?
We got some phantom music and dancing in the ballroom. The hotel's ballroom is said to be a hotspot for paranormal activity, with guests reporting phantom music and witnessing spectral figures engaged in a ghostly dance. Some claim to have felt an invisible presence guiding them around the dance floor, while others report seeing shadows moving to the rhythm of non-existent music. This is crazy.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're crazy. And these descriptions.
I know.
are
I'm just
crazy.
saying, like, that is in itself.
But
crazy.
that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they felt an invisible presence guiding them around the dance floor.
These experiences contribute to the belief that the spirits of former guests continue to linger in the hotel, reliving moments from their past. So that could be it.
That's interesting. I mean, that's similar to what did we have last week? I brought this up last week. If these instances are happening as like echoes in time kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's like something stuck in a loop, just time keeps repeating there in a different plane and we're somehow interacting with that. I don't know. It's just an interesting, weird little conspiracy theory I came up with.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the phantom music, I wonder what music they're hearing. Like, did you find in your...
Well, I doubt it's going to be Cardi B.
I was hoping it might have been Usher
Not sure.
because of the Super Bowl last
Could have
night.
been.
You know, everybody loves that for some reason. So, I mean, he's got some good songs, but he's not my personal first choice.
I mean, I've heard whistling before.
Like,
But it's also weird because I've heard the whistling in the exact same spot. So that kind of lends to the fact that it'd be happening in the ballroom. It'd be in a specific location. Maybe like there's a time stamp. It's happening there on repeat. It's on repeat. So, I mean, we walked down. It was the exact part of this basement here. And I'm like, and everyone was talking. I'm like, did you guys hear that? And they're like, no. I had everyone on camera. No one was whistling. And then we went back to the same exact spot. And at the same spot there, the same whistle. And I tried to debunk it. I'm like, is this something in the pipes? Is there something? No, I stood there the entire time and tried to debunk it. There was nothing. It was just that same weird whistle. And it was right because I was talking about it too. It's like, we're coming up on the spot right now where I heard that whistle.
it was a melodic whistle, right? It wasn't like a steady, like a...
No, yeah, it had tone to it.
It was like music.
Yeah.
Okay, like they're whistling a little tune.
And then because I was talking about the spot, I'm like, oh, we're coming up on the spot right now. And I heard the whistle. I'm like, are you guys screwing me right now?
We just want you to have a good time here. Maybe they're doing bird calls. Maybe since they can't touch you, or maybe they can. I don't know. I've never been touched by anything. I know you've had that happen on your experiences, but maybe they're struggling to touch you, they're calling some birds in to attack you. They're just doing some bird calls. They're working on their bird calls, and they're like, "Come in and attack this guy." Yeah.
It's possible.
They're like, he's invading my space. Come attack this guy, all you little birdies.
What you can... Oh, okay.
What's going on there?
Oh, it's crashing everything. We're done. It's over. Stream's done. Do you want to continue on with the eerie
Oh, yeah, sure.
encounters while I'm trying to?
So at the Shanley Hotel, in the basement of the Shanley Hotel, apparently there's reports of an unsettling atmosphere, and it's rumored to be haunted by multiple spirits. Both guests and staff have reported the hearing disembodied voices, hearing footsteps, unexplainable knocking sounds echoing through the dimly lit corridors, and people have also reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread upon entering the basement, leading them to believe that the area is a focal point for paranormal activity within the hotel. I would agree with that. Focal point. That overwhelming sense of dread. Maybe that's overwhelming because there's so much activity down there
Yeah.
happening simultaneously that it just overwhelms their senses. I firmly believe that we humans have a sixth sense
Just can't unlock it.
that is tuning into the spiritual. Some people aren't in tune with it, some people are. And that even people who aren't in tune with it, if they were to go and experience an overwhelming sense of dread entering an area that has reported high spiritual activity, that is their dormant ability to sense those things being, just tickled a little bit, so that they could maybe they don't realize that's what it is. But I firmly believe that's a thing.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, like, you get a gut feeling. We talked about this in the previous episodes. You get a gut feeling. That's the best way you could describe it, really. It's like, I just had a gut feeling that something was going to happen. Something's going wrong. There's something bad about this area. Let's get out of here. And then you come to find out, like, oh, good thing we got out of there because something crazy happened.
Or even like where you have that feeling and nothing does happen in the moment, but when you go back and review it, then you see that
When you had that feeling,
yeah,
something
I did have that feeling there. I should have trusted my gut.
Yep.
A lot of music in this hotel.
Yeah.
The mysterious piano player. Visitors to the Shanley Hotel have shared stories of hearing the faint melodies of a piano playing in the dead of night. Despite there being no pianos on the premises, the phantom music is often accompanied by reports of strange lights flickering and shadowy figures moving throughout the building. Some speculate that the mysterious piano player could be the spirit of a former musician or entertainer who once frequented the hotel in its heyday.
You think this spirit brought its ghost piano with it to play the music?
Perhaps. I mean,
Okay, like, in all seriousness, I'm being a smartass today. I can't help it. I just feel I got a jokey spirit about me today. How would they be making this music? Like, pianos don't have spirits.
well, I mean, if
Guitars
they're
don't have
able to
spirits.
interact with that time,
But there's no piano there either. Like, in the building, right?
maybe they're playing a recording of something.
That's it. They brought their iPods.
They brought their iPod. Hold on, so we have
we have some activity in the chat.
I just heard a door open, but where there is someone home.
No, there's
What's atmosphere?
Atmosphere.
My house has activity. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, share that with us. We'd love to discuss it during our show tonight. I did put this here. I wanted to touch on this. So I found an article from roadtrippers.com.
This will work.
Hopefully we could bring it up.
There we go.
Yeah, sweet. Roadtrippers.com. It's titled, I Didn't Believe in Ghosts Until I Spent a Night Alone at the Notoriously Haunted Shanley Hotel. It's by Alexandra Charatan. There was one key point I wanted to touch here. If you could just keep scrolling down slowly, just so I can catch it. So this is just an article that discusses like a review about the hotel, what they've experienced there. There's a manager of the property that her name is Kim Vital, and then it was recently sold. Keep going, just a little bit.
Slowly.
Yes, you are going at a good rate here.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, there's also some very interesting pictures on this article. Right around here, I go up a little bit. Never mind, that wasn't it yet.
Yeah,
Apologize.
No, it's fine.
Okay, right here. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there we go. All right. Vital and the hotel's new owner, Kelly Hammerling, have conducted ghost investigations on the property for years before it became their full-time jobs. When people suggest that the pair is being paid to perpetuate the hotel's haunted reputation, Vital tells them, "I was here 8 years and I didn't get a dime. Kelly and I did it every weekend because we loved it and had the passion for it, for the history and the spirits and what goes on behind these doors." So that's just little introduction tidbit there on the people who own the hotel and are really involved in organizing the events there and, you know, visits, checking it out. But if we go down further, there was something that really just wait, stop at that picture.
That's a cool place.
Look at that picture.
And this isn't. We could go to this place.
That looks eerie.
I mean, we could go here.
Do you know where Napanock, New York?
You don't know
is?
where Napanock? I have.
No,
I don't.
man.
I know it's not too far.
Okay. All right. Well, you could go there, and I will cheer you on from the sidelines. I'm not having anything attached to me, my
All
friend.
right, you could stay in the car.
Stop, man. You're crazy. A little bit more down further.
Low prices on abandoned houses.
That's what we need.
Here we go. Let's go here. No.
Almost there. There's an interaction.
Yep.
There's
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Yep. Oh, so you're not going now because they have dolls? What if you went there and a ghost clown jumped out at you? Like, are you somebody who's afraid of clowns?
Wouldn't say I'm like. I don't really like clowns, but I mean I'm not.
Every time I see a clown, I give them a hug because they're some of the saddest people. You know, that's like clowns. I've always understood that clowns were like people, actual profession. Their profession is clowns. They go to kids' birthday parties and do silly things, right? They're some of the saddest people, and they go out there trying to make other people laugh because they're so sad.
It's like a comedian.
Like comedians, yeah.
Yeah.
Some comedians. Not all comedians. I don't think all comedians are just by default sad, and I don't think all clowns are by default sad. But I've hugged clowns. Not even joking. I'm just like, thank you. You're silly. Give them a hug. I was also, I don't know, maybe like 15, 16. Maybe there was a hint of being a smartass in there. It was at a party. I said, "You're funny." He made me a cool balloon sword. It was a good time.
Well, there you go.
He wasn't creepy. I don't get why people are afraid of clowns. And he was funny. I don't remember his name. It was a funny clown name. Oh, we got an activity
Yeah.
in the chat here. Atmosphere said, glowing orbs flying out of a window. Okay, we'll touch on that. Handprints on the wall after a humid morning. Okay. Dog growling at a bedroom door and the same bedroom door opening and closing.
I
That's
think
freaky.
animals
Absolutely.
definitely have that ability to see things we don't.
Absolutely. So these glowing orbs flying out of a window. You had was it our first episode? You brought up that video from your investigation. Where was that? Was that at the theater with the orb going into the mirror?
Yes.
That was at the Stanley Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just curious if you saw that glowing orb fly out of a window and you continued to see it on the other side. Maybe you weren't close enough to see further out the window. You just saw it go through and then it's gone.
Or saw it and were not like me and got out of there because I'm not normal.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And left and didn't ask questions and just left.
Yeah. Glowing orbs flying out of a window. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about on the article there. Handprints on the wall after humid morning. That one I feel like could be debunked a little bit easier than the glowing orbs or the dog growling. Just like we have oil on our skin and you touch a wall, it could leave a handprint, and then humidity outlines that because it sticks to the oil on the wall. I'm not saying that that's what did it, but that is a possible explanation.
Unless you live alone.
Unless you live alone and you never put your hands on the walls. It definitely could be oils left. Right. But the dog growling at a bedroom door unexplainably.
Yeah.
Like they're dogs, cats, birds even. Like they're tuned.
Fish.
Most animals. Yeah, dude, I've seen fish do backflips when there was like a shadow thing in the corner. I'm making that one up. But dogs, yeah, growling at a bedroom door, same bedroom door opening and closing. Now, what I do have a question about that specific incident, if the dog was growling at the bedroom door, did the bedroom door open and close on its own immediately after, or was it two unrelated incidents where dog growling at a bedroom door and then like 2 weeks later, all of a sudden that bedroom door, dog's not growling at it anymore, but it's just slams open and slams closed and opens itself. If you could elaborate on that a little bit, I would appreciate that atmosphere. So on this article from Road Trippers, this is what really got me. This made me laugh, honestly, because I have. Oh, hold on. Atmosphere also just answered. It was delayed, open, and closed, but in the same few minutes. Okay, yeah, that one I would say there's something there. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Have you seen any apparition or anything like that after that experience? That bellow, heart, its will.
Oh, it's Josh's brother.
Goodwin?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, Will.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So does that mean that Josh has?
No, because they don't live together.
I know they don't now. Just the presence. Okay. How frequent? What was the last time? Actually, let me rephrase this. How long ago was North Carolina? Okay. How long ago was your most recent experience? I should say that's what I want to ask. How long ago was your most recent experience? What we got going on over here?
It's being weird. I don't know if it's what's actually being captured right now on the screen, but we can go on to the other thing too, unless he's still
Oh, Korea. Did you experience anything in Korea? I see. Just when I was here last year. Okay. Well, I mean, if your experiences are personal to you, so if you experienced this last year, then that was the last one you experienced. I just hope it's you don't feel any negative energy around with that. Hopefully it's not a malicious spirit, something with some harmful intent. I mean, the dog's growling. Newly built area. Well, just because something's newly built, that doesn't mean there can't be activity there because
of the land.
Because of the land, something could be, hanging out in a certain area, certain land. Like, I mean, I think we discussed this before in a previous episode, but like Native American burial grounds that have communities built on top of them have reported like paranormal activity. Isn't that like the gist of like a movie? Isn't there a movie that basically does that covers that? Like Native American burial ground, house built on top of it. The whole house is haunted because the house is built on top of a burial ground.
I don't know.
I feel like I've seen something like. I'm thinking of Family Guy. There was literally an episode where their house was having a bunch of paranormal activity, and Stewie was like singing in the TV, and it turns out they like what are they dug up a Native American skull or something like that in the backyard. That's what I was thinking of. All right,
Yeah.
so let me get to this Road Trippers. So let's see, at this hotel, we got Vital and Hammerling. And Vital says that they know most of the spirits by name, including Frank, who worked as a bodyguard at the bordello in the hotel. I think that was on the second floor. And Joe, a hitman for the mafia. No relation. Just because Hitman in the video game is bald and I'm bald doesn't mean I'm related. Just stating that, making that clear.
Agent 47. All right, go on.
Agent 47, yeah, that's what I was talking about. There's a man who whistles, several children, and even a ghost cat named Sweet Thing. Recently, this is what really got me. Recently, a guest asked Frank how he died, and according to Vital, he replied, a gunshot in the pub. Hammerling says that Frank has strangled her twice. And when she told the group, he replied via EVP, you liked it. Hammerling just dismissed it and says, oh, that's the kind of sense of humor Frank has. I don't know about you, but if some spirit or entity or some apparition or something is strangling me twice, I'm getting the hell out of there. I'm out. I'm not hanging out. That's not happening. Nope. You're not my friend. Friends don't strangle me.
Maybe they did like it.
Oh.
You can't. You can't accept. Hold on one second. We got a few things in the chat. Willing to smudge the house. It wasn't anywhere with huge battles. Yeah, just beware. If you do smudge your house, you're reportedly getting rid of everything in the house, good and bad. So just keep that in mind. Tanner Farr, aside
Tanner
from
Farr,
occasional
to our podcast.
Yeah,
Tanner.
that's interesting. Footsteps upstairs. I haven't seen or experienced anything at my house yet. Are you still at the same house? My first episode tuning in, have you guys discussed the visit my house? Let me back there. I want to go back. Because that we saw something there. Like, you may not have seen something at your house, but we did.
Is it a house? Like a house, or is it like a?
It's a house.
Is it like an apartment? It's a house.
It's a house.
Okay. Because sometimes I'll say like, oh, check it.
Same house. Yeah.
And I live in an apartment, so.
Please let us back, because that house has a lot of, unless nothing is happening, I don't want to stir anything up. If nothing's happening as bad as it was before, then I'm not going to go in there and provoke anything.
No, yeah, no.
But we did have some crazy experiences there.
That's scary, because if you have children,
Yeah.
that's where it comes. That's where, for me personally, if something's happening, in my house where I'm living, my apartment, wherever, if something's happening and I feel like it's a threat to my kids, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out. And I know things can follow you, but I'm praying to God. I'm praying to Jesus, and I'm saying, save me, please. Save my kid, save my child. Please protect my child. And then I'm getting out of there.
Well, not everyone can too. Not everyone has the ability as well.
Oh yeah. I don't have the ability, but I figure it out.
Figure it out.
I prioritize my child's well-being.
But even in the Conjuring movies, like, the reason they didn't move is because they couldn't.
Their legs didn't work.
Their legs didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they could afford to move out of there. And it's not like, I don't know.
I mean, I get it. It's a struggle.
Because I don't think anything was physically affecting his family,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just the instances that were happening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you have a paranormal experience and you just leave the place every time, no matter what. I'm talking about like harming.
If it was harming, yeah.
Yeah. If there's something harmful there, because I mean, I've had paranormal experiences, and this is before I had a child, but I've had paranormal experiences in places and stayed living there for a bit. And still had a couple after, there's a place I used to live that I had three distinct paranormal experiences in. It was an apartment inside of an apartment complex. It was like this big square, like, of buildings with like a break in the middle for you to enter the parking lot in the middle of everything. And I had 3 experiences there. And the first one, although it was extremely terrifying, didn't prompt me to leave. Second one, terrifying, didn't prompt me to leave. Third one, I was on my way out anyway, but that one, it was trying to harm me. So, no, I left there. Tanner says, I'd be down for another visit. We have crosses up in the rooms and the kids haven't mentioned anything as of yet. Yeah, just keep an ear out and believe them if they say they hear or experience anything. Like, don't dismiss those things, because I was talked about this on another episode too. Like, if knowing that I've seen things and I've experienced things, and I've spoken to many, many people who have seen things and experienced things in the paranormal supernatural realm, that it's not just your imagination playing tricks on you, and these things are actually happening. If my kid tells me this, I'm going to believe him, and I'm going to take him seriously. Whereas our parents, my parents, maybe your parents were of the same generation, maybe they wouldn't have taken us seriously if we said, hey, we saw a slimy skeleton underneath our bed that crawled out of a mirror and started trying to grab our feet. They'd be like, you're crazy. Go back to sleep. You just had a bad dream.
Mm-hmm.
Take your kid seriously. Tanner says, experience here was my in-laws lived here approximately 10 years ago and had some visits from a little girl in white around 3 a.m.
And it's what's interesting because we communicated with what was supposedly a little girl there.
Really? That's what
I believe that was
the entity said it was?
the entity that we saw
You
with
saw it?
with our own eyes. But we didn't see a little girl. We saw this giant ball of light.
Like energy?
It wasn't an orb,
Yeah.
is what people say, but it was big. It was like 3 feet by 3 feet.
Whoa.
It was big, and it's announced itself before it showed itself to us too.
How?
With the device that I have, the obulus that picks up words. It literally says that when nothing was going on, we were in the room, and all of a sudden it said, "Surprise!" and then that's why I said surprise, and that's when it showed itself to us.
And all of you guys saw it? Like in person?
Yeah, we both saw it.
You didn't catch it on camera?
I screamed like a little.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was scary.
Oh,
We
okay.
both saw it with our own eyes
Wow.
because we were in the pitch dark, and this thing they had blankets on the windows. It literally lit up the room, and it went from the corner of the room towards the left side. If we were looking at the door this way, it came from the right side of the room, came towards us to the left, then it just disappeared.
That's scary.
And Marcus can attest to that too.
Oh, he went on that one?
Yeah, he was there with me. It was
Oh,
him and
man.
I.
Oh, it was just you two? He was like your cameraman for the day?
Mm,
He went with you guys to the Stanley Theater too, right?
yeah.
Okay.
But at 3 a.m.,
Yeah, witching hour. Also, a UFO abductee hour. Also, astral projection without free will hour. Also, there's tons of things that happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. On or around 3 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning. It's not like on the dot, hits 3 o'clock and all of a sudden things open. But I mean, I have a theory that the veil is thinner at 3 o'clock. Like, and there's some sort of spiritual legality that allows them to increase their activity and interact with people who have, in the spiritual legality, agreed to be, whether they know it or not, you can agree and consent to things without realizing it because you're not aware of the spiritual legal clauses, I guess you could say, that need to be fulfilled for those things to interact with us.
I think your thing went
Oh.
tiny again or something.
It did, but that's okay.
It's fine.
We'll fix it for next time.
What else do we got? Yeah, it's important to note that these accounts from that hotel are intriguing. It should be approached with an understanding that each individual's encounter may vary. However, they all contribute to the Shanley Hotel's reputation as a haunted destination. So, always telling everyone to try it yourself if you want to, if you're interested in that, figuring out the truth for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so next up, we have some stories based on personal accounts of paranormal encounters at the world-famous Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada. This is a little bit why I was talking about clowns. I don't think people should just be scared of clowns because they're clowns. But, you know, this is a clown hotel, so let's see what's going on over there.
Sharon, welcome.
Hey, spooky ghost. Look at that. I like it. Ooh, the haunting laughter. Many guests have reported hearing strange and eerie laughter echoing through the corridors of the Clown Motel, particularly during the late hours of the night. This laughter is often described as childlike, but tinged with a sense of malevolence. We were discussing that earlier, weren't we? Was that off stream or was that during the stream? That we were talking about malevolent spirits tend to disguise them. Oh, that was last week.
Yeah.
They tend to disguise themselves as children in order for maybe the person there or people they're interacting with to let their guard down and pique their curiosity, like, oh, poor kid.
Oh, it's just a
It's just a lost little kid, and then its face changes.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the monster.
Shows its true form.
Shows its true form. Some visitors claim to have felt a chill down their spine upon hearing the laughter, and it has been attributed to the presence of lingering spirits within the motel. The last time I felt a chill down my spine was probably... It was one of the stories you shared with me recently that actually sent a shiver down my spine.
Was that the one at the Star Hill when, like, afterwards?
Yeah, with the lamp. The guy
Yeah,
with the
like
lamp.
we didn't know anything
Yeah.
going into it, and then at that point,
Yeah, that one. It's not like common for something to really, like, I can be like affected by someone's encounter and be like, whoa, that's crazy, maybe make the hair stand up a little bit, but to actually be like, whoa, man, that's freaky, that one got me.
so your experiences are validated by
Yeah, absolutely. There's also been reports of apparitions in the hallways. Several guests have reported witnessing ghostly apparitions roaming the hallways of the Clown Motel. These apparitions are said to resemble clowns, with painted faces and colorful costumes. Witnesses describe the figures as translucent and ethereal, disappearing into the thin air when approached. The sight of these ghostly clowns has left many visitors feeling unsettled and convinced of the motel's paranormal activity. Translucent clowns. Huh. Do you think Stephen King has been there? Because he wrote it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. You think he's been
Right?
there?
yeah.
I mean, it. I've never personally seen it.
Never seen it?
Nope. I've
I've
never
seen
seen
it.
it. I used to be with it, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah, anywhere with it.
No, I'm
No.
not. I got too old. I've never seen it, but I know the gist is like he's like an alien, right? He's not really a clown. That's just how he presents himself to like lure the kids in.
Bigfoot.
The whole time, it was Bigfoot, and
No.
Bigfoot disguised himself as a clown.
Yeah, he's some omnipotent being.
So he's it.
What are you talking about? It?
He's an
Are you talking about it, or
omnipotent?
Or what are you talking about? It?
Omniscient or omnipotent?
Omnipotent.
Okay. Do you ever see his true form? Like, there's an older movie and a newer movie, right? A remake? Or is the movie that came out, like, within the last 10 years, is that the one
I
that...
think that's the one I'm talking about, but I'm forgetting all of
Have
it
you
right
seen
now.
it?
I have seen it, but it was like when it first came out, so I don't really remember it fully. But
That's the one with Bill Hader in it, right?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's... I never saw it. I don't
it was
tend...
good.
I don't tend to watch scary... Ever since I watched The Fourth Kind, I just stay away... And Insidious. Those two movies. I just stay away from everything because I'm like, nope. This stuff's all real. I don't want to see it.
Those two movies are my favorite. No, I wouldn't say favorite, but those scared me.
Those
core,
actually scared me too. Like, I was genuine. I was like, okay, what's horror movies other than slashers, blood, and people dying? And then I watched those and I was like, I'm genuinely terrified.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't look for that experience intentionally.
No.
So there's also been reports of the crying child at this clown motel. On numerous occasions, guests have reported hearing the sound of a child crying within the confines of the clown motel. Despite thorough searches, no source for the crying has ever been found. Some speculate that it could be the ghost of a child who met a tragic end at the motel, or perhaps a residual haunting echoing the sorrow of the past. The mysterious crying leaves many guests feeling saddened and uneasy during their stay. Are you going to go stay there?
Yeah.
You're going to go check it out?
Yeah.
If you see a ghosty clown, are you going to try to honk his nose?
I don't think so. I might not actually partake in any of that activity. I think I would. Honestly, I think I would probably go.
You would? That's one you would go to?
I'll try it.
You would go almost anywhere, but there's still some places that you wouldn't go, right?
Kind of back to that one house up in the parsonage house.
That you used to live at?
No, that she used to live at.
You wouldn't go there.
I'm debating because that's what brought like a strong attachment
Mm.
here. So I don't know
See.
if I would do that again.
Yeah, and I heard something earlier. It was my
Huh?
ear ringing. I don't know. I'm not even joking. I mean, okay, I was saying it with a hint of, sarcastic, a little sarcastic twist to it. But seriously, like, as we were prepping for the show, I'd never experienced ear ringing, tinnitus, like type thing. Like, I know the difference between, like, I mean, maybe I've never had tinnitus. I just know the difference of when, like, you know how they say, "Oh, your ears ringing," that just means somebody's talking about you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know if it means left or right or something like that.
I forget which one.
I don't know what it means, but occasionally, while I'm out and about, even while I'm home, my ear will ring, and it's very short. It comes in, it's just like, and it's gone. That's it. This lasted for like 5 minutes, and it felt like the pressure in my ear, and I mean, should we mention what happened yesterday?
Yeah.
Do you want to mention what happened
go ahead.
yesterday? So we were enjoying the Super Bowl yesterday, all of us together here, and my old lady sees. Well, first, Tanya sees something, and she's just staring at it, right?
And she's like looking right above my head.
Yeah, and he's just like, "What? What are you looking at?" And she's just like, she looks kind of scared, but frozen, like petrified, like just frozen. And I'm just like looking at her, looking at Nick, looking at her, like nothing. What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And she finally like snaps out of it, and she says, "I saw something above you, like something that peeked around the corner." Right? Okay, we'll give it another hour and a half ish. And my old lady, I'm sitting next to her on the couch. She just taps me on the shoulder. She's like, "Hey." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I saw the thing peek around the corner over there." I'm like, "No, you didn't. You're just messing with me." She's like, "Oh, no, I saw it." And I could tell when she's being serious and when she's messing around. She saw it. I said, "Oh, what did his face look like? What did you see? Well, how can you describe it?" She goes, it was a shadow figure. As soon as I saw it, it disappeared. Like, as I was seeing in peripheral, I look, and I see it as it's disappearing. And I'm like, oh, shoot. That's kind of creepy.
Definitely bring things back with me.
That's why I won't go to these things.
I feel like I am haunted. But
I won't go to these things.
But I don't know.
I will not go to these places, man. I'm sorry. Jesus would not approve of it. So when I heard that ringing, that was like, it wasn't painful, but it was uncomfortable. And it was that pressure in my ear, and it was steady. It got a little bit worse for like the first 20 seconds it started. It got a little bit more uncomfortable, then it peaked at like, this is uncomfortable, but maybe I can, nope, nothing's helping. Okay, well, I guess I'll just sit here. No. Oh, nope, it's not stopping. And it didn't really stop until about a minute or two after you came back in, when we were prepping with the show. So it was probably about 5 minutes long, and I just felt that pressure. And I don't know, maybe it could be related to the shadow figure that two people saw yesterday, peeking around the same corner, being like, "Hee, look at me."
Here's the thing, though. Like, when I go on these things, I fear people more than I do the spiritual realm.
Is that because people are physically tangible and they can hurt you, and you know that?
Yes.
What if you found out that these spirits could hurt you in ways worse?
I'm sure they can. But
Then how do you fear people more than that?
because I want to find out for myself.
I see.
I'm not inviting anything to do it, but I if something did happen to me, then I can.
What if the spiritual law
Mm-hmm.
is by interacting and searching and inviting these things through prove yourself to me kind of inquisition, you are in fact asking for them to do things? That is the okay. Like, if that's the case, I'm not risking it. I want the answers too.
Well, I only have one go around,
That's true.
so I mean that's why I'm not taking more risks in a way like that. But I want to know.
Do you think you could have an experience? It's possible for you to have an experience that would make you completely turn your back on going out on investigations yourself, but still look into the information, like research?
I've had pretty crazy experiences, and I still jump right back into it. I think if something like I don't even know.
What if you went on an investigation with someone who you care about very deeply, and they went with you, and you're experiencing like doors, lights flickering, stuff in the room vibrating. You feel this evil presence, this like malicious presence, and then all of a sudden, this individual that is with you, that you care about deeply, just collapses, and they're in a coma. You can't explain it. You don't know why. You just said, this crazy stuff happened, then they're in a coma. And now they're in the hospital. 3 years later, they're still in a coma. Would you stop doing shit?
I'd be even more mad.
You're gonna go find these. What are you, Constantine?
I'm gonna go into the spiritual realm. No, that's why I honestly I really like going places by myself without
Because there's
people that
there's
I
no
care
risk.
about.
Because you're okay with something happening by entering that, but not with someone else. The only thing I have a fear of is, in that case, is things being attached. Following.
And that's why like me myself, like I'm giving the permission in a sense to myself, but not really to my family. If it follows me home, it's not really it's going to be messing with me more because I'm the one who initiated the first contact. But other people might notice it, but I feel like it's going to be more after me in a sense.
Well, that story from the first show we did, where the little boy was possessed after the exorcism of I forget their names, of the other guy. The demon was exorcised from the guy, jumped into the little boy, and the little boy grows up to kill everybody or something, right? Doesn't he grow up to kill everybody or kill someone? No, he grows up to stab a neighbor or something like that.
No, I think it started in the little kid, and then it jumped to the other guy.
Okay, I had it
ended up
backwards.
killing his landlord.
I had it backwards. A little bit. That guy didn't ask for it. Oh no, he did actually. He taunted the spirit.
Yeah, he said
he taunted the demon, and then said, "Come get me, come get me," and then he went in there. Okay, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say like I wasn't asking for it. Nope, never mind. We determined he did. All right, back to the clown hotel. I like these discussions we can kind of go off on here. Sometimes I just can't stop. We got items moving on their own. We didn't touch that one. Several guests have experienced instances of objects moving seemingly on their own accord within their rooms at the Clown Motel. Items such as keys, wallets, and even luggage have been reported to mysteriously relocate from one place to another overnight. While some attribute these occurrences to forgetfulness or misplacement, others believe it to be the work of mischievous spirits inhabiting the motel. There was also a report that I'm making up on the spot of a ghost clown car driving around, and a bunch of little ghost clowns jump out of the ghost clown car, and they start stealing your keys. They're like little goblins.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. No, I've never. I mean, I've misplaced things, and 100% known for a fact I put it somewhere, but I didn't attribute that, and then didn't find it there. I just attribute that to forgetfulness, like that, like they said over there. Some of those experiences were attributed to forgetfulness, but other things can't be really explained. We did find a video we wanted to bring up for the Clown Motel.
I have to mute it.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and for
Pretty bad.
the
Friendly looking.
You're gonna love this one.
Clown Motel sits halfway between Reno and Las Vegas, and Fox 10's Andrew Hasbin and photojournalist Joe Tillman, they took the trip to Tonopah, Nevada, and they found out it's not just clowns that frighten the motel guests there.
It's a dark night. Dark night. It's a dark night.
sign grabs you. You've never seen a place like this. Welcome to the Clown Motel.
There's about 600 clowns.
And that theme doesn't stop at the front office. In the rooms, clowns over the bed.
I've had people that come in here and they say, oh my God, I didn't realize you had all these clowns.
Some guests seek out this motel.
Walking into the lobby, I was not prepared for the onslaught of clowns.
But others leave in fear.
I go and take the pictures off the walls in the rooms or cover them up with a dishcloth. And they'll stay, but they just couldn't have clowns around.
Owner Bob Perchetti says a few guests have claimed to see clown-shaped figures passing by their windows at night.
One guest said that he woke up and there was a large life-size clown, like the one in the corner, standing in front of his bed. And he said he kind of wiped the sleep out of his eyes and washed away, and he was still there. And then all of a sudden he just disappeared, completely disappeared.
Yep, that seems to be a recurring theme about the things we've been talking about today's hotels and motels, is the apparitions that seem to be real right in front of you, not ghostly, not ethereal, but they seem physical, and then they just disappear.
Yeah,
right before your eyes. So there's got to be something to these. I think it's all related, man. I really think it's all related. Also, are these people who are seeing these clowns, do they have like a predisposition to be afraid of clowns? So then their heightened fear of clowns and seeing that this place is a bunch of clowns makes them see something that's not really there? Because that is a possibility. I'm not saying that everybody who says they see something does. Most of the time people are being truthful, but sometimes your fear could get the best of you.
Or if you think if there is a malevolent spirit there and it's playing on your fears, and like you're basically broadcasting that out, that like, oh my God, like I'm so afraid of clowns, and it's like, oh, you are afraid of clowns, huh?
As soon as you said malevolent spirit, my left ear went numb.
Did it? You know what's weird? That microphone or the speakers haven't gone off by themselves again.
Either it's related to Zoom or something that Mark was talking about was upsetting something. Yeah, hold on a second. My ear, it's ringing again. Do you feel the pressure? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, my eyes are hurting, but might just because I'm tired, but it's fine.
The shadow guy from yesterday,
he could be sitting behind the curtains right now.
He's sticking his finger in my ear.
Poke the curtains.
Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Please no.
All right, let's finish this video real quick.
If all the clowns weren't enough to creep you out, there's something else that scares guests away. The motel was built next to a cemetery that's more than 100 years old. This was the county's cemetery, created around the turn of the century. Its occupants? Exactly what you might expect from an Old West town: a murdered sheriff, prostitutes, barkeepers, even 14 miners killed in a fire.
All of them died from smoke inhalation.
Alan Metzger helped restore the cemetery after it closed in 1911. Decades of storms and vandalism left the graveyard in ruins. He helped re-identify the buried, including William Murray, who died saving trapped miners.
They found his remains at the sump of the shaft down 1,400 feet, decapitated and mutilated.
Now, the cemetery has become legend.
These towns have...
Yeah, so that's all I just wanted to share with you guys is, that there is like some of the history that could lead into why people are experiencing having these experiences at the Clown Motel. These stories, based on personal accounts, they contribute to the eerie reputation of the world-famous Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada, and why Nick says he'll never stay there. I'll never stay there either, but that's not because of clowns. I like clowns.
I might.
I'm not afraid of clowns. All right. Lastly, for our topics for this week, we have the Hotel del Coronado, located in San Diego, California. It has a rich history and is rumored to be very haunted. Very, very haunted. Here are some stories based on personal accounts of paranormal encounters at the hotel, with, I believe, the most popular being the ghost of Kate Morgan. One of the most famous legends associated with the Hotel del Coronado is that of Kate Morgan, a young woman who checked into the hotel at 1892 and was found dead on the beach several days later. I don't think it was discovered how she died, right?
Yeah.
She was just found dead on the beach. Guests and staff have reported encountering Kate's ghost, often dressed in in Victorian-era clothing, roaming the hotel grounds and corridors. Some have claimed to see her apparition in the hotel room where she stayed, and others have felt her presence lingering near the beach where she met her tragic end. I did find a video of, I don't know if it's accurate what she looked like if there's a picture featured, or if this is a reenactment of what she is described to have looked like. But I found this interesting because we can skim through the video. We don't need to watch the whole thing. There is... Skip forward just a little bit. Right there. It looks kind of witchy, if you ask me. I mean, we have Victorian-era clothing, but that looks like a witch.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is an accurate picture. I mean, I don't think so. It looks too good quality.
That's her.
For 1892.
That's her. They had cameras back then.
Yeah, but for that was good quality.
Yeah, that's her. And they had CGI.
Walked through the door. But yeah, that's apparently what's described as being seen walking around the hotel over there.
Again, we have unexplained cold spots and drafts. It's very common in paranormal hauntings. Numerous guests have reported experiencing sudden drops in temperature and unexplained drafts in various parts of the hotel, even in rooms where there are no open windows or doors. That's just odd to me. These cold spots are often accompanied by feelings of unease and the sensation of being watched. Now, some people believe these phenomena could be attributed to the presence of lingering spirits within the hotel.
I think they're attributed to somebody leaving the refrigerator open, but that's just me. No, we discussed this actually like the last 2 weeks. Last week and the week before, because it's a very common thing, occurrence in these paranormal encounters is temperature changes. Actually, that's even in some UFO abduction testimonies or anecdotal experiences, whatever you want to say. I've heard many people that are brave enough to share that, even though people are going to think they're crazy. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
That their room got really cold before, these two people specifically, their room got really cold before they were abducted, and they were pulled through physical objects, like the fourth kind, where they got through the roof. Like that's what one person in particular experienced, being pulled through, like, let's see, they're laying down, and they're not pulled up through the roof. They're pulled sideways, like horizontally, on a horizontal plane, through their door. Like, they phase through the door like a ghost.
So maybe they're able to go through another dimension or something?
I have no idea how it happens, and I'm excited to explore that and look at some more possibilities when we get to more of the, cryptid and alien topics in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah.
But that, I just wanted to point out how that the temperature changes is also something that people experience with other supernatural and paranormal encounters, not just hauntings and spirits.
We got mysterious sounds and voices. Visitors in the you're gonna. What was that?
My foot.
Was your foot?
Yeah.
Why don't you read this one? I gotta drink some.
Visitors to the Hotel del Coronado have recounted hearing strange sounds and voices when no one else is around. These noises include disembodied footsteps, whispers, and even the sound of children laughing. Now I see why you kind of like you questioned that sound originally, because we were just about to talk about footsteps. Some guests have reported hearing phantom music playing in empty rooms or corridors, adding to the eerie atmosphere of the hotel. Phantom music again. I mean, this is a separate hotel, more phantom music. I want to know what music they're hearing.
Like, there was stories of that one place that amusement park I was at. They had an actual piano in there still.
Yeah.
And there was reports of stuff happening or being able to, like, music playing from the piano.
I've heard of like a haunted carousel. Is that what they're called? The merry-go-rounds?
Yeah.
That's a carousel?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it will just go off on its own and play the carousel music. It's just, melody. There's no words or anything. And it would just start on its own and move very slower. Like at its slowest setting, maybe. I haven't been at one of those in years, so I don't know if they go faster and slower. I don't know. But yeah, like, I think amusement parks are kind of creepy.
They definitely are, especially in the off season.
Yeah, like, okay, so where I work, like for my day job, there's a summer destination, like beachside amusement park type
It's
thing.
haunted too, supposedly.
And I've walked through there, not looking for anything, but just, okay, I'll admit, I was playing Pokemon Go. And I was chasing down a Charizard. It was actually a Charizard. I was like, oh my goodness, there's a Charizard outside. That's a lot of Charizard candy. Let me go get it. And I ran. And it was just eerie and creepy feeling. And I'm like, why does it feel creepy over there? And then people are like, yeah, this place is apparently haunted. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, get out. Like, I didn't know before I went there. I felt the creepiness after.
Before, yeah.
I know, I felt the creepiness before, and then I confirmed after that, oh yeah, people say that's haunted. I'm like, that just feels creepy.
You just gotta trust your gut.
Yeah, so I don't tend to walk through there. I mean, I gotta walk by it all the time in the middle of the night, but I don't go around there at 3:00 in the morning. So maybe that's a good thing. All right, so we got some more reports of objects moving on their own. Several guests have claimed to witness objects moving by themselves in their rooms at the Hotel del Coronado. Items such as furniture, that's a big one, luggage, and personal belongings have been reported to shift or rearrange inexplicably overnight. While some attribute these occurrences to natural causes or forgetfulness, others believe it to be the work of mischievous spirits haunting the hotel. We got here a quick little video of an inside look. We're going to skim through just so you guys can see what it looks like inside this hotel.
I'm not going to play the sound with it. It's not necessary.
No.
What is this beginning part?
These are just Halloween introductions.
Maybe I should. Ow.
What did you just do?
Halloween is less than a week away, and tonight we're showing you a local hotel that's ranked among the most haunted in the country.
CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez takes us to the Hotel del Coronado and walks us through what visitors on haunted tours might see today.
This is the first year the hotel has brought guests on a tour here on the 5th floor. It's one of the most haunted areas of the hotel. Step inside the Hotel del Coronado. It's a San Diego icon. Over the years, it's hosted movie stars and presidents. It's also gained fame for something else.
You hear a lot of strange noises, especially here late at night.
Gina Petrone showed us where paranormal activity is seen the most. One of these places is where a woman named Kate Morgan stayed on the 3rd floor.
She's a young lady who checked in 1892 and checked in under an assumed name. And 5 days later, her body was found here at the hotel.
Guests and even staff report seeing a woman wearing a long black dress.
I was standing in a spot admiring the sunset. The back of my legs almost felt like drapery was falling across it.
The stories continue.
We have a room where a guest reportedly checked in, never checked out, disappeared, vanished completely.
Paranormal investigators studied the room and captured abnormal events each hour.
Anything from chairs moving to water faucets turning on, curtains fluttering, things moving, a lot of poltergeist activity.
Guests often report strange encounters. This is cell phone video of a window appearing to open on its own.
The Dell is a beautiful grand Victorian hotel, but at nighttime, it looks a little different.
If you're wanting to try to experience some of this
Really, I don't know how to explain it, but I have seen the window opening on its own kind of thing before. Like, maybe the weight and those are old windows where they had counterweights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I've seen it before, and it wasn't like, I don't know. I didn't think anything paranormal about it. I didn't feel anything, and I didn't sense anything. I don't know. But yeah, so to wrap that all up, all of these stories, of course, are based on personal accounts, and they contribute to the enduring reputation of the Hotel del Coronado as a haunted destination. While some skeptics remain unconvinced, those who have experienced paranormal activity at the hotel firsthand swear by its authenticity, adding to its allure and mystique.
And before we conclude today's show, brace yourselves as we delve into the mysterious realm of the paranormal, exploring 3 community submissions from our Facebook group that are sure to send shivers down your spine.
I'm excited for these this week. Where do you got them?
Second.
You can close all those up there, though, so you don't accidentally get confused.
Actually, all right, here we go. This is our group, by the way.
Yes, everyone's welcome. Feel free to request to join, and someone from our admin team will get your request, vet you, make sure that you're not here to cause any trouble, and then, we look forward to hearing any of your experiences, or if you just simply want to join and see other people's experiences. All right, so one of them, this one right here, shared with us from Dawn Cochran. I apologize for butchering her name if I am. She says, I wish I had known what I know now. I knew nothing about the paranormal at the time, approximately 30 years ago. I lived in a house where multiple people, including myself, saw an apparition of a small boy. My son was 6 years old, and this little boy followed him around constantly. The apparition was very intelligent. He would use toys to make himself known, and he was even known to turn on the TV in my son's room. He became very jealous of any other children in the house, my young daughters and my nephew especially. He did not like it if my son was playing with them. It got to the point that my nephew, who was 2 years younger, was even pushed into the shower and ended up with bruises and cuts from this incident. That is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like full physical contact like that. She says, we ended up moving from this particular house, but my son has definitely had an attachment since then. He has been told that this male child is still with him. I really wish I knew how to help him. As a mother, there is nothing worse than being helpless when your child is in need. That, I'm so happy she shared that one with us, because that one, there's substance to it. It's very interesting that this young boy apparition kind of had a best friend in her son. It seems like
Yeah.
they were friends. Liked to hang around and got jealous. The pushing her nephew though, and actually causing harm to another little boy. That's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of like a full on push like that. I've heard scratches.
For pushes, but not to someone that young.
That's true too.
Yeah.
I've never heard of pushes in general. So, maybe a nudge, but like pushed him in a bathtub where he got bruises and cuts.
She wanted to say, this is not an experience that I usually share. I do have some follow-up questions regarding cleansing, rituals, and prayers for my son, but I'm not comfortable sharing these even more personal details on a public forum. So I did let her know she could message me. I haven't gotten anything yet, but we will definitely respond to her.
Okay, so the second post that we got shared on the second experience we got shared from our community members on our post is from Yvonne Williams. Many years ago, me and my ex-husband, were sleeping in a small room with 2 single beds. His 2 children was in one bed and us in the other. We heard Tracy scream out loud. We both woke up at the same time, sat up, and saw a skeleton get off the kid's bed and walk straight through the wall. My husband said, "What the F was that?" He jumped out of bed, ran through the door, but it had gone, and will never forget this experience.
I've never heard anything like that.
I've never heard of anything like that either. Like, it's a skeleton that walked through the wall. I mean, I've heard of ghosts going through things, but maybe it was a ghost skeleton. What do you think? Have you ever seen like a skeleton type thing?
No, but not to say that it doesn't.
Right.
Possibly, but I've never heard anything like that. It's a first for me.
The closest, I think I shared this story a week or two ago, was that story of that guy. I think he was a kid, and he saw in his mirror that he could see himself in his bed, and then he saw like the skeleton crawling out from under his bed in the mirror. And then when he looked down, it wasn't there, but he saw it in the mirror. Like, that's freaky. Maybe something like that. But, I hope that's definitely a first for us. We appreciate you sharing this experience, and we hope that you guys are okay, and that this skeleton hasn't appeared again and potentially harmed your kids. The last one we have here is from Julia Zerer. Apologize if I'm butchering your last name. It's a short one, but she says that she had the Grim Reaper visit her years ago. Had a spirit in our house in Washington that was crazy and scared her and her children. So many experiences, too many to tell. Hopefully she'll be sharing more with us, but I haven't had anybody ever say they saw the Grim Reaper.
No, that's a
first for me.
Yeah.
So I thought that one was interesting. I mean, what is that? That's mythological lore of some kind. What is it? Greek? No, that's there's the guy that like takes you on the boat down the River of Souls when you're going to Hades, not to hell. I'm mixing things up.
That's right. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
He's
about.
like he has a name. He's like, I think that's their version of the Grim Reaper. But yeah, I think that was very interesting. You saw a Grim Reaper. But also, if you saw a Grim Reaper, or the Grim Reaper, whichever it is, if there's multiple or just one, then that kind of relates to the other woman's story, where they saw the skeleton. Until Yvonne's, when on her children's bed, they saw the skeleton that just walked through a door. Was the Grim Reaper you saw maybe a skeleton? I don't know, but yeah, we really enjoyed those. We definitely encourage you guys to share videos that tends to prompt more in-depth discussion. But if we encourage and welcome all experiences being shared. I mean, these were excellent experiences this week, but we look forward definitely to next week and the following weeks to see what other experiences you guys have to share with us.
And don't forget to join Paranormal, Haunted, Creepy Places, and Ghost Stories Welcome Home and share your story for next week's show. Do not miss out. I want to thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Your support fuels our curiosity, and we're grateful to have you with us as we navigate through the unknown. Caitlin Noel, loved the streams. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you, Caitlin. And a big shout out to each and every other one of you besides Caitlin for being part of our growing community. Your enthusiasm is what makes this journey so exhilarating.
So stay tuned, folks. Next week, we're gearing up for another thought-provoking episode that promises to keep you on the edge of your seat.
The exploration continues, and we cannot wait to have you back for more revelations.
Remember, your questions and theories fuel our discussions, so please keep them coming.
And until then, stay curious and keep seeking the truth.
Thank you for being part of Beyond the Hub family. So once again, this is Beyond the Hub podcast, where the realms of the paranormal and conspiracies collide, and the truth is waiting to be unveiled. All right, we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.